Cabal Therapist. 1 black mana 1/1 horror with menace, and at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, choose a non-land card name, then target player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name. In this video we're gonna be reviewing this Cabal Therapist and see how good it is for competitive EDH. There are 6 commanders that I think could utilize this little black horror. For example, Alesha, who smiles at death, can reanimate creature cards that Cabal Therapist could sacrifice over and over. The same with Marin of Clan Eltooth and Muldrotha. In Najela the Blade Blossom's case, she doesn't really reanimate creature cards, but she produces a tremendous amount of tokens that the black little therapist could sacrifice. The same with Naf of the Guild Leaf. Whenever an opponent discards a card, he will create a token. The last one is a partner combination with Tana the Bloodsower together with Tymna the Weaver, and Tymna could actually utilize this little black thing because it has menace, meaning it's a little bit harder to block, which will give Tymna card draw triggers. And Tana produces 1/1 green saplings that the Cabal creature could sacrifice to force opponents to potentially discard cards. It's always nice to look at an opponent's hand and see what they're up to, so you can plan your game plan forward ahead better, and also get rid of some pesky stuff, combo pieces or other interactions that will stop your game plan. However, I don't think this card is that strong, and I don't think it's gonna improve decks that much that include it. It is actually quite slow. You can't activate this ability the turn you cast this creature. It activates at the beginning of your first pre-combat main phase. That means that we have to sacrifice creatures that existed in play before our turn begins. And what we're actually gonna sacrifice? We're not gonna sacrifice our dogs or good and solid hate bears for this tiny effect. Let's begin with looking at Alesha, who smiles at death, and how she could utilize this. So it is a sack outlet, that's for sure, and that's something Alesha wants, so she can loop certain creature cards like Imperial Recruiter and their Hedge Mage, which have ETB effects that we desire to have secondary effects of. The same with Goblin Creator Maker that can sacrifice itself to deal 2 damage to a creature or destroy a colorless permanent. And Alesha, who smiles at sack outlets, definitely desire this little black alien just because it can kill her own creatures. It's not the greatest sack outlet in the world, it's probably one of the worst, but it's actually a quite good and decent sack outlet effect. However, this black horror is not what Alesha is looking for, it's not what she needs, it's not what's gonna make her deck improve and reach the top tier level. It's a card in the right direction, but it's not really making it get there all the way yet. The exact same thing could be said about Muldrotha. Sure, Muldrotha could use this Cabal Therapist to sacrifice Spellseeker, for example, and gain extra value. However, just because you could use something doesn't mean you should. I think Muldrotha have better options. In the case of Naf and Marin, I actually think the Cabal Therapist is a card they would desire and could utilize. It will help their decks a tiny bit, but I don't think it's gonna have that huge of an impact. But it is nice to see weaker decks get a tiny bit of an upgrade. Reaching the top tier decks as Najela the Blade Blossom and Bloodpod with Tana and Tymna, I don't think that this is a card they need. It's not what they are searching for, it's not something that is gonna upgrade their lists any bit. I think they have better options completely. Final opinion, however, I actually love this card. I think the design is perfect. I wouldn't change it one bit. In fact, I love that they printed it, because I'm actually going to playtest this quite a bit and I'm actually looking forward to try it out a lot. I think the card looks really fun. And you could sit and theorize forever on things, but in the end you have to touch things with your own hands and see how it plays out. So in the end, I don't think it's gonna find its place in many cEDH decks. I think it's gonna be tested and tried out, but after that it's probably gonna be forgotten. I hope I'm wrong, I hope this turns out to be a great cEDH staple, but this is what I believe. Thanks for watching, and take care guys, I'll see you in the next video. More reviews are probably gonna be coming up.